400 yards passing is a pretty statistic. It's nice, but you often don't win when you throw for 400 yards because of the imbalance, and typically you're playing from behind, which brings us to our hot seat segment. Each and every week, we'll put Brian Allee-Walsh of SportsNola.com on the hot seat with a topic from each week's game that maybe he saw a little bit differently than what the Saints did in that particular situation. Brian, I can't imagine what that might be from this past week. Okay, Drew Brees is your best player. He throws for over 400 yards. He gets you inside the 1 yard line. You're on the hot seat. And the Saints
what do you do?
What?
You turn and hand the ball to Mark Ingram?
Yeah.
All right. It's a simple call to me. You've got a $10 million quarterback who's about to become a $100 million quarterback at some point in the very near future. I want Drew Brees to decide if we go into overtime or not. I don't want Mark Ingram to decide this. When and you know what? And Sean Payton deserves every dollar that he earns.
Absolutely.
He is one of the outstanding play callers in the league today.
Most
in this decade, for sure. Okay, no question. Not even questioning that. But when you've got the vast array of plays in his playbook, and you come out and you turn with number 9 and hand the ball to Mark Ingram, when everybody's bunched in, you're not sending out any message other than, stop me. Well, you know what? They did. And there's a reason why they have all these playmakers. You could have, the word that I think of is illusion. At least create the illusion that you're not turning and handing the ball to Mark Ingram. Put somebody in motion, spread somebody wide. You've got 20 players bunched in from tackle to tackle, and I just think that they could have called a much better play to score 6 points and then, possibly push overtime. Just my opinion.
I'm starting to
Just
sweat
my
over here.
opinion.
This is hot. Talk about hot. Gee, well, you know what? I will take exception with you on that. As an offensive lineman.
I figured you would.
Well,
Yeah.
I
What else
agreed
would
with
you
you most
expect?
of the day today, but as an offensive lineman, I will say you want the confidence of that coach to say, we've got a foot to go, we've got a yard to go, you've got to pick it up. You want that, you like to see that. Now, obviously, you want the coach to have that confidence in you, and he's got to have that confidence. Unfortunately, after this game and 2 plays where we didn't pick up that kind of yardage, he may think twice, and that may be why he may change some schemes going forward. But as an offensive lineman, you say, we've got a number 1 draft choice, we brought in here just to do this, to be able to pick up that yard, and we want to dig it out. Now, didn't work this time.
But there's plenty of time to get that yard at a different stage of the ball game.
Well,
Mr. Edelman.
There is, Mr.
Allee-Walsh.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
And
Look,
go
guys.
ahead.
Look,
Jump in here.
Look, guys. I agree with Brian, and I agree with Brad.
Oh, please.
No, wait. I can't agree with everybody.
Listen.
This is a hot seat.
Where's the toaster for the waffle?
Here's the thing.
on.
Here's what you guys miss. You have one of the most creative minds on offense, and
Agreed.
Sean Payton.
Absolutely.
Okay, one of the
Give
most
us
creative
something
minds.
new.
Okay, what Sean Payton? If you're going to run, we should have went to the off tackle or to the outside.
All right.
If you're going to
Okay.
run, okay.
I'm listening.
But for the most part, I'm going to keep it in Drew Brees' hands if it's me. I spread them out. I use my talent, and I give myself a better opportunity, whether to throw or pass, more so than just running in. But it's not so much as running the play; it's the run play that he called. That's more of the problem. And I think he's one of the most creative coaches out there. And I just feel that he could have came up with something better than what he did.
Okay, Brian, formations. When they go for it earlier in the game on 4th and inches, they have a couple of guys split wide.
Inside the
and
Packers'
Brees
10, right?
Can't find anybody, and he has to throw it away. Second time around at the goal line, everybody's bunched tight. Does the formation have anything to do with this?
Absolutely it does.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, there's this split. They do not like the word finesse, all right? They like to think of themselves as a power football team. They are still a finesse football team. And I think what Brad is alluding to is that, as an offensive lineman, you want to go to that strength. You want to make that defensive lineman push him back and get that extra tough yard. That's the testosterone working in you, okay? This is a finesse football team. They've always been finesse. And I think that's the way that they've got to go. You've got 1 yard, you've got 80 million plays that he can choose from. He turns and hands the ball, Drew Brees, turns and hands the ball to Mark Ingram. I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
What's wrong with the finesse team?
Nothing. Nothing. It's not a negative.
It's all about results, guys.
It's not a negative.
Exactly.
About results.
Well,
know who you are, Torrance.
exactly. Drew Brees threw for what? 419? We could have had 420 if he had passed it. But, here's the thing. We are who we are, as the famous quote from Dennis Green.
There you go.
We are who we are. We're a passing team. We pass first, run late. And that's who we're, but the thing is, when I played with the Patriots, one thing that we said, even if you pass the ball, even if it's a short pass, it's like a run. It's making the defense react more to anything.
The Niners did it. The Niners made a killing off an extended handoff, right?
Yes.
Didn't they? You know, they threw the ball at I'm just saying, with as many plays in that playbook that Coach Payton could have chosen, he took a very vanilla play.
Gentlemen, I can just take so much out of this conversation. I've truly been inspired by this entire rhetoric.
And what play would you call?
The only play I would call was spell testosterone, okay?
Oh, you really?
No, don't do it. Never mind. It's okay. No, that was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And I think these are all substantive points because in the final analysis, one play doesn't win or lose this game. But you're in position to win the game, and it's an easy second guess when it's over with. And I guess the point that could be made is very simply that if they're in a tight formation, the expectations are clear. The defensive ends crashed. The safeties launched. The linebackers came straight into the holes. You could run wide. You could play fake and pop a tight end or a running back out and likely have them open if you execute. Regardless of what you run, you have to execute. They did not. It's that simple. Now it's time for our fan segment. Each and every week, we have a fan at our location, which happens to be New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood here at 4141 St. Charles Avenue, that has a question, and each and every time we'll have that fan on to ask his question. Great to have you with us. Nice jacket there, nice cap as well. Tell us your name and give us your question.
I appreciate it. My name's Damien. I work here at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company. My question is this. Seeing that we're having a lot of trouble with the pass defense and the secondary as well as tackling, what do you think is a good option for us? Is Darren Sharper an option, or what should we do about that, and how should we maintain this? Because we're getting killed back there.
Quick answer, Torrance.
Well, one thing that Brad alluded to earlier, he talked about we didn't have the all season. The lockout hurt the defense. Greg Williams has a variety of packages, and these guys need some time to learn that package. And what I saw some missed assignments. I saw some guys that weren't students of the game that we need to learn. I mean, be in the playbook a little bit more, be in the meeting rooms a little more. And I think we missed that during the all season. But I think over time, the defense will become a little better, a little bit more cohesive and all. But right now, we're just going to have to lean on offense right now.
Brad.
I'm gonna defer to that answer because I think it's a good answer, and I know we're short on time, so I'll pass it right over to Brian.
That's the nicest thing you've done all night. Look, until they get a pass rush, all right, a good pass rush can help your pass coverage. And they don't have an elite defensive back in there, okay? Mm-hmm. They don't. And I'm not sure Darren Sharper's the answer. He wasn't the answer Thursday night, but until they get an effective, consistent pass rush, the Saints secondary is going to have trouble.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Now, and you're right. The one thing I think the Saints is missing is a dominant pass. We need somebody that can take two blockers. We don't have a dominant pass rusher to get sacked. Now, the one thing that I do believe that the Saints are more, Greg Williams has more of a scheme than we have talent. His schemes help us where we lack in talent, and right now these guys have to learn that scheme in order to make up for the talent that we have on the field.
Roman Harper needs to be in run support and not isolated in man coverage. And everybody makes a big deal about Jermichael Finley, and understandably so, but he caught 3 passes in the game. It wasn't as though he had a gigantic game. He had a very good game, but the fact is, we know that Roman Harper's not good in space. He's good against the run, and he's good on zone blitzes, Brian.
Absolutely, and again, this team doesn't have an elite pass rusher as well. I don't know if Will Smith would have made a difference in this game. I mean, the bottom line is Green Bay is a prolific team with a prolific offense. They're easily a Final Four team out of the NFC. So if you use it, the litmus test that you refer to, then the Saints know where they stand. They know what they have to do to get better. And I think we're going to see things get, there's a light at the end of the tunnel here. They've played one of the best teams in the NFL to start with. But it shows how far the Saints have to come on defense.
It's Sports Nola TV. Great to have you with us in our first show of many, many to come, and we are glad that you've taken time to join us. When we return in just a moment, we'll turn to a good and great friend, Marvin LeBlanc, to tell you about his outstanding business that I know you want to hear about. Plus, we'll also take a look at LSU and Tulane, and you'll hear about our Prep Player of the Week as Sports Nola TV continues.